Hey guys, so we're back again with another reading, and this one is all about what makes you special. So we're going to see what special qualities that only you have that really make you stand out from the crowd. And today we have a selection of cakes for you guys to choose from. I do want to mention that I have my Patreon up, and I just posted a reading all about what divine feminine archetype you embody. So it's a great one to watch if you want to tap into your divine feminine goddess energy, and a great one for my ladies to see what kind of category of those divine archetypes they fall into and really to unleash that side of themselves. So check that out, link in my description if you want to join us over there at Patreon. And there's a ton of additional readings over there as well of all different kinds of subjects. So definitely check it out. And if you want to get a private reading with me, I have some openings a little bit later this month. So definitely check those out. Link in my description for that as well, briarrosetarot.com, if you want that private one-on-one guidance from me. So with that being said, I'm going to post the numbers up on screen so you guys can see which of the numbers each of the piles are, if that makes sense, which of the piles are which numbers, I guess. That's probably a better way to say it. But if you guys need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. But we are going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey pile one, so if you guys picked this pink cake, this is going to be your reading. So you can see on the top there's a selection of fruits. There's a big juicy strawberry with the stem on what appears to be a grapefruit slice, and then a blueberry and a candied cranberry on the sides. There's icing dripping down really artfully. It's probably strawberry or maybe raspberry flavored, and on the top there's some vanilla icing piped on in really artful, beautiful designs. It's such a pretty pastry. I would totally get that in a pastry shop. But anyway, let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got the Eight of Cups, Page of Cups, Six of Wands, Death card, Strength card, Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. So you guys in this pile are highly intuitive and really sensitive souls, but I also sense that you guys have this inner core of resilience. It's almost like people have tried to really bring you down and hurt you, and you might have had a lot of kind of resurrection moments where maybe people thought you were done for and over, and they had like gotten you and it was game over for you, but you guys keep coming back and you don't let anyone bring you down. You guys are actually really tough, which a lot of people might not see at first. They might see you as this sweet, sensitive soul and think like, oh, they're just going to be easy. I'll just pull one over on them. But they don't realize you guys have this core of steel and you're never going to stop. You're always going to keep going. I'm hearing Get Up 10 by Cardi B, where she says, knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. And I feel like that's you guys. Like, people have tried to knock you over. They've tried to bring you down. They've tried to hurt you. But every time I see you guys picking yourselves back up and keeping going and kind of welcoming in those changes, because again, you guys are very psychic and very intuitive, and you probably know that all those kinds of things that people try to do to hurt you can actually end up benefiting you in the laws of karma and the universe. So I feel like you guys have actually welcomed in those changes. I'm seeing someone just be like, rip the band-aid off, and they're just facing it head on. They're not even scared. And I feel like people are kind of shocked by this, because when they see how sensitive and creative and what a nice soul, like a kind soul you guys are, I think they just assume that you're going to be a pushover, that it's going to be easy to get to you, that it's going to be no problem for them to knock you out of the game. And I also think you guys tend to have a little bit of the star energy, and there's something very special and potent about your spiritual mission on this planet. And I think when that's the case, sometimes it provokes jealousy in others, and people want to take that person out because they wish they had that kind of status for themselves. And so I think a lot of people have kind of misplaced their anger that maybe they should be directing towards, I don't know, themselves or just someone else, not you guys, and they direct it towards you. It turns into a lot of envy and anger. But I see you guys just growing stronger and stronger. And if the spotlight is something you guys are interested in, I do see you having a gift for that. I feel like a lot of people are drawn to you guys in this pile and genuinely like you. It's funny because for as many haters as you guys have, you have just as many supporters and friends and people that think what you're doing is absolutely amazing. You have people people who would ride or die for you, who really just think you are incredible and that you have such a special quality to you. And if you haven't been surrounded by those types of people, because I am seeing, again, like I mentioned, some of you guys have been surrounded by major haters who tried to bring you down. I feel like you should know that when you get aligned with your tribe, you truly are so special, and they might be hating on you because they wish they had those qualities, that special light inside that you guys project. So I think the sooner you guys can align yourself with those people who will understand you, who will be cheering you on, who will love your spirituality and your special spiritual gifts, your ability to get downloads. I do feel like you guys are very psychic. I feel like you guys are very intuitive, and also your intuition probably gives you the ability to know how to handle certain situations. Like, even though these people are trying to bring you down, I feel like spirit gives you advice on, like, do it this way, manage it like this, handle it like this, just gives you these instant downloads. So you're very intuitive with knowing when to leave a situation behind, or how to handle it, or how to fight back. And I feel like those are truly divine aspects of your intuition. And that's a major gift that I think a lot of people might not understand if they don't have that gift themselves. They might not understand how you keep doing this, how they keep trying to bring you down and you keep like getting out of it scot-free and actually being blessed because of it. Because I'm seeing kind of like Ben and Jerry, like I think, I don't know, or Tom and Jerry, I guess, where Tom keeps chasing Jerry, I think, and you know, he's just never understanding, like, why can't I catch this mouse? This should be easy for me. And I feel like a lot of people have felt that about you. Like, they don't understand how you guys are so resilient, how you guys keep succeeding, how you guys do so well despite everything they've tried, and it really drives them crazy. And I do feel like you guys have a very close connection to spirit. So that's one of the ways you're able to be so resilient, is getting these intuitive downloads. I also see that you guys have a huge potential for success and making money, and you guys are naturally gifted at money. We got the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. And I do feel like if you guys want money in the future, or once you put your mind to it, I just heard that line from Migos, Ric Flair drip, where they say, put my mind on it, then I put my grind on it. And I feel like that's you guys. You're very good manifestors. You're very good at getting what you want. I'm hearing you guys are master manifestors, miracle manifestors. Like, if you think of something, want something really bad, you might find it randomly comes into your life, even to the point where like you watch a movie and you accidentally think like, oh, that looks like a really nice place. And then next thing you know, you're like, someone is like, hey, by the way, I'm planning a trip to this place. You want a free ticket? And you're like, oh my God, how do I manifest these things? I wasn't even trying. I feel like you guys are fantastic manifestors. And I see that when you guys are younger, there might be an energy of not knowing how to handle this, or not being aware of how powerful your mind is. And as you grow a little bit older and grow into your powers more, you start learning really how to handle it, and how special and powerful you are, and how not everyone has these gifts, so you want to make the most of them. And I think as you guys get older, things are going to get better, because I do see there being a Saturnian influence earlier in your life that maybe starts falling away after your Saturn return. But I do think you guys might have to go through those hardships, but they're only making you stronger. So let me shuffle some more cards for pile one. What makes pile one special, Spirit? What makes pile one special? Oh wow, we got Spark and Sad Embrace. So Spirit is mentioning that you guys have had a lot of hardship, and that they see that. But nothing has taken away this incredible spark you have, this incredible light inside you guys. And I feel like also you guys are really good at making a house a home, possibly really good at interior design, or just doing kind of home things, maybe cooking, cleaning, that kind of a thing. But I feel like your living space feels very like, I'm seeing like a little clam shell or something. I don't know how the clam feels very safe inside its shell. It feels like that to me. It feels like you guys just make a beautiful space to live in. And honestly, I feel like you guys will be great parents, because you guys have been through so much that you will know how to talk to your child when they're going through something really hard at school, or when they're facing an issue with the teacher or another student. You will be able to give them amazing advice, because you guys have been through it. You haven't just led some charmed life where everything worked out for you and your advice is like, well, oh, well, get over it. You're going to know exactly what to tell them. And I feel like you're going to make an amazing parent, an amazing partner. You guys would be a great asset to anyone who's like a high level type of person, like someone with a really demanding job who needs a lot of advice, like a high level politician or like a high level businessman who has a lot of companies to run. Because you guys are so empathetic and you give such good advice, you're really smart and, again, very intuitive. A lot of your smartness doesn't come from like logic and books, it comes from your intuition. So again, this is probably one of the reasons people underestimate you and might think you're even a little ditzy when they first meet you. They don't understand that your intelligence is divine, water kind of intelligence. It's not like knowing how to do long division, or I guess that's kind of important, but it's not some like obscure mathematical thing that can be learned in a book. It's much more powerful than that. Let me get some more cards. What is pile ones? What makes them special? What makes them special? So we got metamorphosis and movement. And that's what I was saying, is you guys have changed a lot over the course of your life. And I feel like you're always welcoming movement. You're always open to something new. And I think that's a huge advantage, because I think you guys don't get stuck in stagnant energy where you're like, it has to look like this, or I'm not able to change. Like if you get called, your first card was the 8 of Cups. So I feel like if you guys get called to like move or to quit your job and try something new, or to cut off a friend or cut off a relationship, you might at first be like, wait, what? But you're going to do it. You guys are willing to take that. You're very brave. You're willing to take that step and trust spirit. And spirit really loves and blesses people who are willing to do that. So honestly, I think your willingness to adapt, honestly, I'm seeing like a surfer, or yeah, because I think what comes to my mind why they're showing me that is like when you're surfing, you have to learn to crest the wave at the right time, right? You can't just be like, this doesn't really work for my schedule. Can you come a couple seconds earlier? Because like I'm trying to get back for lunch and I just want a couple extra seconds to be able to change into my dress from my bathing suit. So just hurry this along. I'm just gonna wait and catch the wave like, you know, just a few minutes later or earlier or whatever. Obviously, like if you've ever been surfing, like it's literally milliseconds that make the difference between whether you really catch the wave at the full peak and you're able to like have an amazing, you know, surfing experience, or you just kind of catch it at the end or too early and it just kind of crashes on you and it doesn't work. And then when you're in the wave, you have to kind of balance yourself. And so I think you guys have figured out that magic of like, that's how life works as well, is like spirit will kind of provide us with waves. And if you've ever actually caught a wave or, you know, in surfing, you know how magical that moment is when you realize that you caught the wave and it is dragging you, not dragging you, but like pulling you to the shore, and you're basically floating on top of the water. And it's the most incredible feeling in the world. Like it's just so easy and perfect, and it just feels so effortless on your part, but it was all because you were willing to trust that timing, and you watched the wave coming and you trusted your judgment, and you didn't get scared last minute and like bail out and be like, oh God, it's too big of a wave, I'm gonna paddle this one out. You trusted, you went full force, you leaned into it, you were bold. And I feel like you guys do that. So you have magical things happen to you in your life. This is probably what is making these haters a little bit mad and feeling a little crusty. Let's get some astro dice to see the energies for pile one. So we got 10th house, Aries and Neptune. Wow. So very powerful energies, but like I was saying, I knew that you guys would get some kind of Neptune because you guys are just so Piscean, and you guys, I feel, are highly intuitive, but like I was saying, you balance that out with being very kind of logical and aggressive and being willing to take an Aries and Capricorn vibe towards things. You're not just going to be drifting around in pure Pisces mode, and if someone thinks that you're going to do that, then they're going to be in for a pretty big awakening and see that actually there's a lot of strength underlying this. It's not just you're in dreamland. Yes, you're capable of getting those incredible Neptune and Pisces downloads, but you also can fight back if need be. So you guys might have Pisces, Aries, or Capricorn dominant in your chart, or these might just be the energies, but I think a lot of times you do see Aries and Pisces combined because they're next to each other. And that's just how planets transit around the sun. So a lot of times someone with an Aries sun will have a lot of Pisces or vice versa. But I think that sometimes people tend to see that Pisces energy and they think like, oh, they're just this sweet little angel. Oh, they wouldn't hurt a fly. And they don't understand the depth of Pisces. And that Pisces is actually extremely powerful and can get those divine downloads, and it's a different form of power. But with Aries, you guys can actually clap back probably. You guys can probably have this resilience, this strength, this drive inside of you that people really might not see at first and really might underestimate you. And with it being backed up with Capricorn, which is such a powerhouse, that sort of Saturnian energy. And I mentioned Saturn earlier because I do feel like a lot of you guys would have a lot of Saturn, possibly Capricorn placements, but the strong Saturn influence in your life that might have, sometimes Saturn placements can make someone's early life especially hard as they start learning those lessons. Because when you have Saturn in your chart, it's kind of a vibe where like you can't step out of line. Someone who has a ton of Jupiter, they can probably get away with like literally anything and they'll get off scot-free and everything will still work out for them. Someone who has a lot of Saturn in the chart is the opposite. Whatever they do, if they try to like break a rule or like, you know, do something kind of shady, they're going to get caught, they're going to get in trouble, like they're going to get punished. And so it takes a while to kind of figure that out and accept that and be like, okay, so I got to stay on the straight and narrow and I got to really listen to this. But then once people with a lot of Saturn and Capricorn in their chart learn that and start mastering that and learning how to play with that energy, they become some of the most disciplined and focused and driven people where nothing can stop them. And so you see a lot of people who have those placements in their chart get a lot of success later in life. And I am seeing you guys get success later in life and really be unstoppable powerhouses later on. So the hardships that are starting, I know it might not seem that way, but I always compare Saturn to like the hardest teacher in school that like, at first you're just like, oh my God, I can't even get a B on a paper. This is so hard. I'm studying so hard for this subject. Like this is so unfair. But you realize that by the end of the semester, when you have to take those standardized tests, you ace it 100%. You get like the top score you have in any of your classes because you've been working so hard on that class. And then, you know, the other energies can be that are a little bit easier, can be that teacher that lets you kind of goof off in class, like laugh, chat, talk. And even though you love going to that class, you're not going to know the subject that well when it comes down to the testing. I had an Italian teacher like that, and as much as I loved her and it was a great way to spend my time, I still don't know as much Italian as I would have thought after taking it through high school. So the thing is, you know, there's a lot of value in that teacher that pushes us and makes us work hard. And usually you benefit big time if you get through it. So I do see that happening for you guys later. Let's get some more cards. What makes pile one special? What makes pile one special, Spirit? What makes pile one special? We got the Chess Queen, trust, strategizing. And I do think you guys are good strategizers. Wow. Compensation, perseverance, the Rainbow Prince. That is so true for you guys. You have a lot of perseverance. You guys have persevered through everything. And I love that it says compensation, because whenever God puts us through a trial or allows a trial to happen for us, you always have to trust that you will be compensated. And I know it's hard when you're in the thick of it and you can't possibly understand why something so bad is happening or why you're being treated horribly or why this has happened and it's so egregious. But always, 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 God keeps the score and God will pay you back double and triple. So as much as it's painful in the moment, it is a gift and a blessing. And I do feel like you guys know that and you're very trustful of Spirit when these bad things happen, but you're also great at strategizing. You guys have an incredible mind. This is why I think so many people underestimate you. I think you're actually good strategizers to the point where you know it's smarter to not present yourself as like some kind of mastermind at first, you guys might even play up a kind of ditziness like, oh, I don't know about that. I never heard about that. But you actually do know everything. You're actually really, really smart and kind of cunning. But you guys keep that to yourselves. And I think that's really wise because it allows you're like, underestimate me, please. Underestimate me all day long. I love it. Underestimate me, till the cows come home, because that's an advantage for you. And I think that makes you really special. I think you guys honestly are kind of masterminds. You really could be incredible business people and incredible like consultants or lawyers or something. You're great at coming up with deep strategy for things. And so I think this is going to really suit you later in life. Like if right now you just feel like things aren't going your way and it's really hard, keep in mind that there's something a lot bigger for you, and that when you have these bigger positions later on, you're going to be so glad you have these characteristics, and you're going to be so glad you learned it at an easier time rather than having the first time someone came against you or was underhanded with you while you were like CEO of a company. So by the time you're CEO, you'll already have experienced this a million times and you will know exactly how to handle it. And you guys really do have a very powerful destiny. We got the map maker of destiny. So I honestly think you guys in this pile are so special, have an incredible purpose. You're supposed to do something really big. And I feel like God has really marked this pile for something really huge. And probably that's why you guys have also had this level of suffering or these hardships happen to you. It's to teach you. Like you can't learn to play chess until you play a bunch of times, and you're probably going to lose at first. You only learn to start playing chess well after you've learned the rules of the game, you've played a lot, you've lost a lot, and that's when you start like figuring out like, oh, I could do this move, and like, oh, actually that's kind of a good shortcut or whatever. I don't know chess, and that's the thing is like I've tried to learn it. It's a little complicated for me, and I was just like, it's too much work to learn. So it takes a lot to figure it out, and I think you should know that like you guys are learning all these dynamics right now, and you're really, really good at them. And you need that credit for how many times you've managed things for yourself. I also could see this pile being very creative, having gifts when it has to do with writing, painting, arts, all the arts. I feel like you guys would make excellent writers. I feel like you guys have an amazing imagination and a really great vision. I'm seeing photography. Some of you guys are fantastic photographers. The way you see this world is very special because, again, you guys are highly intelligent. A lot of people don't realize that about you, how intelligent you are, how smart you are. Again, I think you kind of don't mind, like, sure, think of me as a ditz. So that's probably why. But you have such a special gift and a special way of looking at things. And I think a lot of people, like I mentioned, some of you guys later on, you might get some level of notoriety or even fame because I feel like the way you view the world is so cool that a lot of people would love to like buy into it, whether it's reading a book you wrote or attending a speech for you or like buying a product you have or listening to you have a YouTube channel or something. I feel like you guys, or a podcast or something, I feel like you guys have a very special gift quality to you, that the way you view the world is very unusual and kind of Neptunian, kind of from another dimension, kind of a little alien-esque, or like you just arrived on Earth from, I just saw like the man who fell to earth. So kind of like that, like it's like this is your first kind of go round and you're like, oh, this is kind of weird down here, but you're figuring it out really fast. Let's get some more cards. So what makes pile 1 special, Spirit? Success. I'm telling you, you guys, oh my God, success and abundance. And I'm so glad you can see me actually shuffle that, because I bet y'all would be like rolling your eyes if those just came out. You'd be like, come on, what a coincidence. How would those two come out? But that's what you guys are in for. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be able to manifest so much success and abundance later on. I feel like you guys have a natural grasp of entrepreneurship. Did I say that right? Entrepreneurship and money, and just a natural grasp on like what people want. Like, you guys are great at connecting to people. You guys are very compassionate. I also think you guys, because you're good with people, you're good in social situations and you're great at like parties. And I think this is where people get mad and get jealous, is because when you're like at a party or when you're talking to people, you make a really good impression and people wish they could have the kind of glamour, presence, and energy. And there's a lot of grace with how you carry yourself. I do associate gracefulness with Capricorn, because it's kind of a slow moving sign. It can be kind of lumbering, but I actually think a lot of Capricorns have kind of this natural grace or slowness to them. Pisces does as well. But especially with Capricorn, I feel like there's kind of this inner dignity they have that comes from Saturn. And I do feel like a lot of you guys, when you're out and about, the way you move, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, you're never really making a fool of yourself. You always make a positive impression. You always have people left, like leaving, you always leave people saying, like, wow, that person they had impeccable manners, or wow, they were really, they were a great conversationalist, or like they handled that situation really well. Who was that? So even if they might be jealous or not like you at first, they at least respect that you carry yourself with a huge amount of grace and dignity that I feel like people can never really take away from you. You're always going to be dignified no matter what is thrown at you. You just have that inner kind of strength and decorum, I want to say. Let's get some more cards from this deck. What makes pile 1 special? Okay, that one flew out. Trust, surrender. And I think that's what you guys do that is going to make you such a success and change all those energies we've been talking about. You're great at trusting and surrendering to spirit, allowing spirit to really take control, and knowing, like, I love that it says the map maker of destiny, because on a map you'll see, of course, the destination, but you don't just head right there. Like, whenever there's a map, there's going to be like, you have to cross here, you have to go there, you have to go through this. And I think you guys are good at understanding that, like, there's going to be some peaks and valleys in life. Yes, there's going to be moments when you're at the top of the mountain, but there's also going to be times when you're struggling to make it up the mountain, or you're in a valley. And that doesn't mean that you're never going to get to your destination, or you're never going to have what you want. It means that you have to pass through this stage to get to that location. And that's just part and parcel. You wouldn't be like, oh my God, why is God doing this to me, if you had to pass through, you know, like, I don't know, a desert to get to like Las Vegas. Like, I mean, if you've ever driven from LA to Vegas, you know that there's a huge stretch of land that's just basically open Mojave Desert, you know, and there's like hardly anything around, not a lot of gas stations or fast food or anything to eat. And you wouldn't be like, oh my God, this is horrible, I'm going to be here forever. You know that, like, yeah, that's part of the drive, and it's not the most exciting part, because it does become kind of old just to see a bunch of brown open land and cactuses, and if there's even cactuses, and that's kind of it. But that's part of it, and you can actually appreciate the beauty when you're in it and know that you're going to be in Vegas and it's going to be fun and you're going to have a good time. So yeah, I think that you guys are good at understanding and trusting on that front. So I want to get some final cards from this deck. So can you give us some final cards about what makes pile 1 special? So we got tiger. Maybe some of you guys were born in the year of the tiger. I don't know what year that is, sorry, but you might check your Chinese astrology. Scissors, disappointment in some affair, or the year of the rat too. Someone working against you behind your back. Yep, that's happened to you guys a lot. Doing something risky, taking a chance, and clouds, temporary problems. So all the things we kind of were talking about with how you understand that these are temporary problems. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to get your bag. Yes, something important such as a new job or a raise. And this one talks about a new business opportunity. So I think you guys really have such a success in your future. And I love how, like, I feel like you just have this quality of being able to withstand anything. You have this grit, this determination, this like, nothing's going to hold me back. I heard that line from Shawn Mendes, ain't nothing holding me back. So it's like, I feel like you guys are just, you have this vigor and this enthusiasm, and it's like people try to bring you down and you just get right back up. And that honestly is such a huge quality. Maybe you guys are also very optimistic, because I'm getting some optimism vibes in this pile. But honestly, it feels like you are the type that will always fight for yourself and fight for that smile and fight to be happy about whatever's going on. And you really will fight back when someone's trying to bring you down or make you think negatively or make you feel negatively. You always will push for yourself and advocate for yourself. And I think because of that, you guys are going to come into such wealth and abundance later on in life. But you guys are a powerhouse with so many gifts. I love the spiritual energy combined with the fight, the grit, the determination. I love it. Like, this pile is absolutely amazing to me. So powerful and special. And I think you guys are going to have success after success. And especially it'll probably start like setting in around the time of the end of your Saturn return. That's usually how it happens for a lot of Saturn dominant people. And then it's like the sky's the limit. So strap yourself into the roller coaster, because it's about to tick on up and we're going to pick up some speed and go off. So anyway, I really hope it resonated, pile one. Thank you for letting me tune into this beautiful, lovely energy. I feel like I had a little sip of coffee or something, even though I don't drink coffee, because you guys have so much natural energy and fun and enthusiasm in this pile. So, and you guys are really fun. I don't think I mentioned that, but you guys are fun as well. And really funny and like the life of the party too. So I love this energy so much. Need I say more? I just keep going on and on, but I love you guys. You have a great energy, a great vibe. And so let me know how it resonated in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know, drop a comment, and also make sure to like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on. And I just posted over on my Patreon, what feminine archetype do you embody? So you can check that out if you guys are interested in that. It's a really deep spiritual one, and we got some really juicy answers for you guys. And there's a ton more readings on my Patreon if you like my style of reading tarot. And so check that out. That's where you can find it. Link is in my description for that, for my Patreon. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will be back very soon for another reading. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile two. So if you guys picked this green cake, this is going to be your reading. So on the top, there's little fruits decorating this cake. There's a big, juicy looking green maraschino cherry right in the middle. Then on the side, different sliced fruits. That looks like some pineapple to me, a peach slice, and a kiwi slice. And then there's some vanilla icing piped on really artfully, and it looks like bee pollen decorating it as well. Then on the sides, there's some green crusted coconut shards. Maybe dyed coconut is what it looks like to me. And it looks kind of like a tropical fruit dessert, but it looks so delicious and beautifully colorful. But let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got the Knight of Wands, Six of Pentacles, King of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Page of Swords, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Two of Wands. So wow, a lot of fire energy, wand energy coming through. So you guys might be Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. But I feel a major gift that you guys have, and something that makes you stand out, is your enthusiasm and your energy. I feel like you guys can be the life of the party. And when you bring your energy or put your mind to something, you are unstoppable. You guys will go after it and get it. Also, something coming through is you guys are so loyal to those around you. You would literally give the shirt off your back to anyone. You guys actually have such a big heart. You're kind of a softie on the inside. It's funny because you guys might seem really tough on the outside, or people might think of you as kind of intimidating, but actually I feel like to your close circle, you are the most kind, giving, loving person. You're kind of the flip of pile one, who was maybe a little less intimidating, but you guys, you might intimidate a lot of people, but actually when someone's in your inner circle, you would do anything for them. You're so protective, so loving and giving to those around you. And I really think you serve the role of somewhat of a mama bear or papa bear to those around you, where you look after them, you protect them. You might like be the one who will call your friends and ask them. how they've been, or maybe you are not a big caller, but like if they need anything, they know they can contact you at the drop of a hat and you guys will be there and you are so giving. Also, I feel like a lot of you guys are really good with money and you tend to stay busy and you're constantly like finding ways to earn money, finding things to do. I feel like a lot of you guys are very active and have a very active, fun kind of lifestyle, or if you're not in that energy, you kind of should be. That's kind of your natural energy, is like running around doing a lot of things, going from here to there and always having some kind of activity going on. A lot of you guys are also really good with your words, very persuasive, and I feel like you could kind of convince anyone to do anything. You might have like ended up finessing some people or convincing people to do things that later on they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That's so out of character for me. Or like, I never did something so risky. You totally convinced me. You talked me into it. I feel like you guys have such a power, a dynamism, some magnetic energy around you that you end up, yeah, like maybe you're not even trying to talk someone into it, but just the way you speak about it, the enthusiasm, the power you have, the way you just make things fun, people find themselves kind of being swept away on that. And I actually think it's very seductive and attractive. And all these wands cards, court cards, tend to be very seductive, kind of sexual energies. So I also feel you guys are innately very attractive. And I do think there's like this spark in your eyes, like when you get into something, or when you're excited about something, I'm hearing that you guys get this look in your eyes of like adventure or of like enthusiasm that just like people love to see that, and they see you as like an adventurous person. They see you as someone who's never boring, never dull, never stale, and I feel a lot of people find that very seductive. You might end up drawing in a lot of people that are kind of in boring like cubicle lives, like where they're just living life, going to a 9 to 5, they're pretty bored, and they end up seeing you, and it's like they probably project a whole fantasy on you of like running off with you and you being wild and free and like your hair blowing in the back of a like convertible as you speed down the highway or something crazy, because I'm hearing getaway car from Taylor Swift. So I feel like a lot of people have tried to use you as a bit of a getaway car for themselves. Like they meet you and they might just automatically assume, because you're naturally flirty, you're outgoing, you're talkative, that you're coming onto them, or that you're equally as interested, when you're like, oh no, I just dazzle everyone. That's just my personality. Everyone falls in love with me. But I feel like a lot of people have kind of projected this relationship status on you and would really love to be able to date you, because they imagine that you would never be that like boring partner, boring girlfriend or boyfriend who's just kind of like stale energy, like, oh, it just come home and watch Netflix on the couch, same old, same old. You would always have some fun activity. Even if you were watching Netflix on the couch, you'd probably have a million fun, interesting observations, funny things to say. Like, you're just a blast to be around. You guys are just a lot of fun, and there's so much excitement swirling around you guys. Also, you guys are incredibly brave, and I feel like you're always up for an adventure, a move, a change. You're always kind of taking in life and viewing it as a potential, or like what could happen that would be good. You're not in like a stale kind of like old energy, just content with the status quo. I feel like you guys are always kind of looking forward to the future, on to the next, excited for the future, looking forward to something, and really taking life by the horns. Like it feels like you guys are truly living your life. You're not just, you know, going through the motions and bored with your life. It feels like you guys are more alive than the average person. You wake up in the morning and maybe you feel things more vividly. Like when you taste food, you might taste it more than the average person. Like you really taste it. Some of you guys might even have very specific like food preferences, or you're just that type that like if you go to a barbecue or a party and there's nothing good to eat, you're gonna like be like, oh, I'll pass, I'm okay. Because you're just not that person that wants to settle for the mediocre, and you feel things more intensely than the average person. So, you know, it's not just like, oh, this pasta salad's kind of stale, but whatever. It's like, oh my God, this pasta salad's horrible and it tastes really bad. I can't have another bite. Or this chocolate cake is the best thing I've ever eaten. It's so good. It's so delicious. So I just feel like you guys go through life more intensely, and the way you experience things, it's almost like how a child will really care and be really like like excited about something small, like going to the park. And to them, it's like the most exciting moment that ever happened. And I think that's why we are so charmed by children, is because they see the world with this kind of wide-eyed wonder. And so many of us were just like, we're just kind of, we've been through it all, and we're just kind of in this old stale energy, and it's just like another day at the park, who cares? But a child looks at it as like the most incredible thing. Or something bad happens and they start throwing a tantrum and they like get so upset. But there's something so charming about seeing the world that way, that reminds us of how we were when we were young. And I think because of this, a lot of people find you very charming. They find the way you guys look at things to be very attractive. So I actually think some of you guys, with the Page of Swords, sometimes that can talk about having a gift as an entertainer or speaker. So some of you guys might be good at like a public platform or something like that, because I do feel you have a gift for speaking and just being seductive in how you carry yourself. Not that you're even trying to be seductive, but just naturally you go through the world in a very attractive way, and a lot of people are drawn to you kind of like a magnet. So it would work well if you're in the public eye, because a lot of people, would find your charisma something that would draw them in. And you kind of need that if you're going to be in some kind of public entertainment field. So for some of you guys that have been thinking of that, I do feel like you have a gift for that. And if you don't want to do that, I feel like you could just charm the heck out of your social circle and just go to a party, and it's kind of like all eyes on you, because you're probably laughing with your friends and like just having fun, or maybe doing something crazy like doing a cannonball into the pool, or like teasing someone, and like everyone's laughing and like in a friendly way, but I feel like there's something wild and exciting and just bold about you that I think people really just can't get enough of. It's almost like an addiction towards you. But let's get some more cards. So Spirit, can you tell us what makes pile 2 special? What makes pile 2 special? So we got home and we got flying. And I do feel like you guys might have moved several times, or you're just maybe thinking of a move, or you're that type of person that would move. You are that type of person that, like, I'm seeing under the Tuscan sun. So maybe you're that type of person that would like take off and just decide to buy a home in a foreign country and just do it at the drop of a hat. And all your friends are like, what the heck are you doing? But it just seems like you're always open to things. You will take the bull by the horns. You don't want to live like just a stale, boring life. You want to really experience it all. And there's so much passion coming through. There's so much intensity and fire and like all the kind of desire, not just for like other human beings, but for life in general, for good food, for excitement, for good music. I feel like some of you guys might go to a lot of concerts and stuff like that. It just feels like you guys want to really live. You don't want to like halfway live and like, okay, I'm technically alive, but I just feel so bored with everything. You want to be fully invigorated and like living every moment and being present. And so I think people kind of feel like they're flying when they're with you, or you just might be flying to a lot of different destinations and you guys might travel a lot. That is Sagittarius fire energy. Let's find out more about pile 2, what makes them special. Intention and stuck in the mud. I think a lot of people who feel stuck in the mud are drawn to you guys. Like, I think that you're kind of like a pathway to them, or like a guidepost of like, wow, I don't have to be stuck into it. They might think a very kind of specific way of going through the world, like, oh, you have to have this kind of hair, and then you come in with like dyed neon hair or crazy totally bleached out hair, or something interesting about your haircut, or a new way of doing your makeup, or something like that, a different fashion sense. And I feel like you're that person that you're just always open to new things. Like, your kind of motto would be like, why not? Why can't I do it? Why shouldn't we do that? Like, what's the worst that could happen, kind of. And so I feel a lot of people end up being very inspired by that. They end up really kind of learning from you. And if they felt really stale in life, they end up realizing that there's a kind of a window out, there's a pathway out, that it's kind of their choice, and they have been choosing to be stuck in that energy, and that at any moment they can choose to exit and to try something new and to feel things more vividly. So I feel like a lot of you guys, there's so much bold spark to you, like there's so much excitement that swirls around you, fun that swirls around you. I feel like you guys are a lot of fun and quite funny when you want to be, like also cutting, like with your insults. Like if someone was to come to you and like insult you, or especially like I said, because I think you guys are very protective of your friends and family, if they were to insult someone you love, I feel like you guys could just, whatever insult they said, you could come back with like an insult times a million, and they would just be like in complete shock and not expecting that, because I don't know, they thought they could say whatever and that it was going to be okay, and they didn't know you were going to like bring all this heat and all this fire out, but I think you guys do. So yeah, I think a lot of people, they see how you approach your life, how you carry yourself, and they're kind of inspired to do the same. So you guys might even have a lot of copycats, and it might be something that kind of bothers you, like, I want to be an individualist. Why are these people copying me? But it really is a compliment. I know it's hard when it's happening, but it truly is a compliment, and it's just a testament to how much of a visionary you guys are. So let me get some more astro dice for you guys. Spirit, can you give us some astro dice for pile 2? So we got Aries, 10th house, and we got Venus. These are the 2 placements that we got for the pile 1. So maybe you guys felt drawn to pile 1, because I do think there are some similarities. And if you did, you can totally watch that, because I could see how both would resonate. But with Aries, that is a fire sign, like I was mentioning, and it's very bold, explorative energy. It's focused on the self. It's the 1st house. And I feel like what I love about Aries is they only do things they really want to do. And so if an Aries is hanging out with you, you know it's because they want to hang out with you. They're not the type to do it out of obligation. And also, they tend to they might get really mad at you in the moment, but they're super forgiving and they get over it really fast. So they might be at like a level 10 of anger in the moment, but they're never going to be plotting and scheming on you for months trying to get revenge. Like once they've had it out with you, they're done and they're moved on, and they won't be mad. Like they just honestly move on so quick. And I love that. And I feel like that's how you guys are. Like you're not an underhanded schemer type. You're going to say it. You're going to say what you feel, but you're also you're the type to move on and not stay fixated, not to be weirdly obsessed with a situation and plotting your revenge. And I feel like you guys, generally speaking, say what you mean and then that's it. And you're kind of more forgiving in some ways, or just because you live in the moment, because you're very focused on being present, you're not going to waste your time obsessing over some situation in the past. You're going to be very forward focused. Then we have the 10th house, which is Capricorn. So again, you guys are great achievers. I feel like you guys are really good at work, hard workers. I feel like you guys would probably be that type of person that might have multiple jobs or multiple streams of income, but it feels like you guys like to work and you like to be busy, you like to be active. If you're not in that energy right now, I feel like you guys should get into it, because that's the vibe I'm getting that this pile would really resonate the best with. And I feel like you guys are great achievers and you will achieve really great things. Then we have Venus, and Venus rules attractiveness and also love. And again, I feel like a lot of people fall in love with you guys. It also rules the 2nd house and the 7th house. So house of relationships and house of kind of material gains, summing it up really quickly. And Libra and Taurus, of course. So I feel like you guys are great at attracting both wealth and relationships. And a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, fall in love with you and just find you so attractive. You guys, I feel like embody that little emoji of the lady dancing in the red dress. She just looks like she's having so much fun, and she just looks like she would be the life of the party. Maybe you guys, when you're going out having fun with friends, you might be that type that would dance on top of the table, or take shots with the bartender, or flirt your way into the back room party, like the private VIP room of the club, and like people are like, oh my god, how did you do this? Or you might be that one in your friend group that like all your friends will recruit you to go up to like some random guy that they have a crush on and ask him out for like one of your friends, or be like, hey, my friend has a crush on you, because you're that brave one. Like, I think you guys are just so much fun to hang out with, that that like, yeah, you just have people kind of circulating around you, people that just love being in your energy. Let me spin these one more time since we got some doubles from pile 1. Okay, so we got Pluto, 12th house, Capricorn again. Wow, are you guys Capricorns? That's pretty crazy how we got that twice. So with Pluto and the 12th house, those are very psychic energies. They are both, and I feel like a lot of you guys do have some psychic abilities and just an intuitive ability to kind of go with the flow and know how to handle different situations. As I was mentioning to you guys earlier, I feel like you guys are kind of big softies to the people around you. Not that Scorpio is a softie and Pisces isn't always a softie either, but you know, they tend to care deeply and feel deeply about things. And I feel like you guys definitely fall into that category as well. And you're also, again, very protective and close to the people you love. Like, people might just see you as someone who's so much fun and just always having a blast, and they might not know that you actually have this sensitive, deep, emotional side to you. You also got the King of Cups. So yeah, I feel like even though you might come off like just fun and people just might think you're one-dimensional, like, oh, they're just a wild party girl or something, you actually have a side that is super protective and giving, that you would give the shirt off your back. You would do anything to protect those around you, and you really connect deeply with like the people in your family or your friends. And if someone becomes into your kind of close inner circle, the people you really care about, like, you would go to town for them. You would do anything. You would go to war for them, you know? And so I think that the people around you get to see that side, and maybe people from the outside kind of sense that, but they're like, I wish I could be on the inside with them. I wish I could get to have that kind of access and be that role in their life. And then we have Capricorn again, which we already kind of talked about. So we won't talk about that too much, except to say that you definitely have a lot of Capricorn energy. And like I said, I could see you guys being high achievers and having a great career or something. So let me get some more cards for pile 2. What makes pile 2 special, Spirit? What makes pile 2 special? The Phoenix. Why am I not surprised? It's like an image of a bird covered in fire, which is the Phoenix. But the Dragon's Duel, inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. And let's get one more. The Ice Queen, ideas preserved, non-action, entitlement, and the Prison Wave, self-sabotage, poverty, consciousness. So I feel like sometimes people, when they first are getting to know you, might think you're like the Ice Queen, or might think like, oh, they're mean, because I think you guys are so socially dynamic and strong and powerful that it's like there's an intimidation factor. And sometimes when people are intimidated, they will make up their own stories. And sometimes to make themselves feel better, they'll say things like, oh, well, they're secretly really mean, or like they come off nice, but actually they're a jerk, you know? And I feel like people definitely do that with you. I feel like people kind of create, I guess, stories a little bit around you where they imagine that you're a lot like harsher than you are, or that yes, you're fun, but actually at the end of the day you're just a jerk. And I think that they're totally missing that yes, you are fun, and maybe that's intimidating to some people, but actually you're like this real sweet angel. And just because they aren't in your inner circle and don't necessarily get access to that privileged part of you doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I think some of you guys have had to put a little bit of a wall up, and that's okay. Like, I think it's not like you're putting a wall up because you want to be closed off to the world, but you're going to be selective about your time. And like I was saying, Aries is kind of selfish energy, and I think that's a great thing. I think there's a lot to be learned from kind of being a little selfish. A lot of the fire signs have that selfishness, and I respect that, because I think so much of the time we can give too much of ourselves, and it's actually really negative. We're put in this lifetime to look after ourselves, not to like be a people pleaser and run around after other people and hope they like us. We're put in this lifetime to experience what we want to. And I feel like you guys have figured that out, but it might trigger some other people. But yeah, I think a lot of you guys, you're amazing in arguments. You're amazing in fights. You're amazing having to stand any situation where you have to kind of stand up for yourself or put your foot down. Like, you are the one to call. And I do feel like some of you guys have friends that would call you up and be like, hey, this person said this about me. Can you come in and deal with them? Can you come in and say something to them? And so you probably end up like defending or sweeping in and protecting people in your friend group or people like family members, that kind of a thing. And yeah, I think a lot of people, they know they can trust you. That's one thing, is like they know that you guys are incredibly strong. You might also have a lot of things put on your plate at work because you guys can handle it. You have so much Capricorn energy. You're great at handling things. And also, again, that just rolled over to 3. I didn't push it over to 3, but I think, not on purpose, but I think you guys are so charismatic, and I think you should know how special that is and how much the people around you, like I said, rely on you, trust you. It's like, I'm hearing it's handled by Olivia Pope saying it's handled from Scandal. Like, she's just a powerhouse and anyone can trust her and go to her and know that like she's going to take care of it. She's not going to be like, oh, sorry, I forgot. I kind of I was a little spaced out and I wasn't thinking. She's gonna make sure it gets done. And I feel like that's you guys. I feel you don't even realize how much the people around you depend on you, trust you, respect you. And that goes for like your friends, your family, your coworkers, so many different people that truly have so much respect for you and truly kind of couldn't do things without you. So yeah, you guys are just so powerful. Let me get some more cards. Spirit, can you tell us what makes pile 2 special? What makes pile 2 special? Envy. Okay, so maybe you have a lot of envy around you. Purpose. So you have a very special life purpose. Balance. What makes pile 2 special, Spirit? Acceptance. What makes pile 2 special? Okay, we got empathy. And let's get one more card. Death. Okay, so that, don't be worried about that card, but it just means that I am learning that endings are merely beginnings, and the Death card in tarot means one ending that you will resurrect like this phoenix into something else, into a different iteration of yourself. And I feel like you guys are really good, again, at embracing change, at understanding that it's not over till it's over. And there's always a second chance, and there's always something to be gained from a situation. Like, I feel like you're that kind of person that if your flight got delayed or your flight got canceled, you would end up making the most of it. You wouldn't be like, okay, I'm going to hole up in my hotel room and eat candy bars from the mini bar and just like in the vending machine and just kind of be sad and go online on my laptop. You would end up like going out and exploring the bars and the restaurants of the place you're at and meeting all the locals, and like even if you didn't speak the language, like finding a new friend and like dancing, and I think you guys, the way you welcome in change, the way you embrace change is very special. I definitely think some of you guys should watch pile 1 if you felt drawn to it. Of course, not if you didn't, you don't have to watch it, but if you felt drawn to it, I would recommend checking it out. And I feel like, yeah, you kind of make things magical, and I think you might attract some envy because of that, because people might just assume you had a really easy life because you guys make it kind of glamorous and seem very Venus energy and seem so fun. So people might just be like, wow, they must have had it so easy. They probably just had everything handed to them. How else could they be so easygoing and lighthearted? How else could they keep that smile on their face all the time and constantly be upbeat and constantly be cracking jokes? But the reality is, I think a lot of you guys have had a lot of hardship directed at you, but you just choose to let it strengthen you and to make you fight harder and make you push and make you attack things with even more enthusiasm and go for it, and make you like not even waste a moment of your life and take things very seriously. not seriously in terms of like being like serious, like down in the dumps and something like that, but serious in terms of like, I know I only have one life, so I'm going to live it to the fullest. And I feel like this is so special. Like the way you guys, you're really living life to the fullest. Or if you're not, this is your signal to start doing this and to start living this way, because I think this is your natural energy when you're at your best, when you're kind of going out, enjoying, tasting new things, feeling new things, having little romances, breaking hearts. That's your natural state, pile two. So you guys should be enjoying all the good things in life. And I think by the nature of that, you're going to provoke a lot of jealousy in others. But I think if anyone can handle it, it's you guys. I don't even think you would let it bother you. You'd be like, let me take it as a compliment, as I always say. And if they hate, then let them hate and watch the money pile up. And that's just not just about money. It's about all the good things in life. Watch all the blessings pile up, you know, because I think you realize that you don't really care what the haters say. You don't really care what other people think. You know you're strong. You have this strong fire defense, and you're not going to let anyone hold you back, and you'll put someone in their place if they try to come for you for that. So I love this energy in pile two. It's so invigorating, exciting, and just fun. You guys would be a blast at a party. So I love your energy, pile two. Thank you guys for letting me tune into it. It's really beautiful and just, like I said, fun. So let me know how it resonated in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know your thoughts and make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you give this video a like and make sure you're subscribed as well and have notifications on so you find out next time I post. And if you guys like my style of reading, definitely check out my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about what divine feminine archetype you embody. So it's a great one to watch to tap into your feminine essence and your goddess energy. And that one's up on my Patreon, just posted. And so click the link in my description if you want to join us over there. But thank you guys so much for letting me read for you. And I will be back very soon for another reading. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. So have an amazing day and take care of yourselves. And I'll see you then. Bye. Hey pile three, so if you guys picked this orange cake, this is going to be your reading. So on the top, there's two juicy looking cherries, nice and fresh, and it looks like there's a little bit of a sugar glaze on top of them. Then there's a little sprig of green. To me, it looks like parsley. It also could be some kind of artfully carved up mint. Then there's a beautiful orange glaze on the top, and it even has flecks where the pulp would be and a few little black sprinkles decorating it as well. It looks super good and delicious. But let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got Justice, Judgment, the Chariot, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Fool. So you guys are highly intelligent. You're really smart. I feel like you guys are really good with your words and knowing what to say. Some of you guys have a real gift for writing and communication, but something that's also coming to mind is that you guys are really strong-willed and kind of tough people. And I think you are that person that you will always stand up for what is right and against what's wrong. And if someone is trying to like scheme their way through or schmooze their way through or asking for special treatment or trying to break the rules or doing things that hurt others, you will be that person that has the backbone that stands up and takes care of it and is like, not on my watch. You are not getting away with this today. And I feel like because of that, you do a real service to others who might not be as strong-willed or might not be as good at handling conflict. You guys don't even realize that you're really defending these people and making their lives so much easier because they might not be able to defend themselves or stand up in a situation. Like, I feel like you guys would be that type of person that, like, if you saw someone like screaming at a cashier, you would stand up and be like, hey, like, you can't talk to them like that. That's unacceptable. And that takes a lot of bravery. And you guys are that person that really gets emotional about like injustice and things that happen that are wrong. And I feel like you are serving a huge purpose in this lifetime by making sure that like the right things happen and that there is some level of punishment for the wrong things. And even though that may seem harsh or it might make you unpopular at times, I think that that is like, we have Saturn for a reason. People need to have that discipline. They need to be taught lessons, as tough as it may be sometimes. It's like there's a reason why we have laws, because if there were no laws, people would do whatever. And so we need to have those boundaries in place. We need to have rules to protect especially the vulnerable, like children or people who aren't as strong. And I feel like you guys really understand that and are really unafraid to stand up for that. And I feel like you guys really fight for what's right in so many ways. Like, you have a strong moral code, and I think you use your intelligence, which is a huge gift. It makes you very special to fight for people who are like less fortunate or less strong. You use your words and your talent to stand up against it. And I'm seeing like a hurricane and just like one tree like standing totally straight in the wind and not being blown over. And I feel like that's you guys. Like, other people wouldn't be able to take sometimes the level of conflict or the pushback that you guys sometimes get because of this. But it's you guys really allowing other people to live an easier life, and you taking on the brunt of this kind of hardship by being in this disciplined type of energy. And I really, really respect it. Like, I feel like you guys are the one that a lot of people rely on, or you might even be in the background and people don't even notice kind of what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table and how much work you guys put in. And I feel like you should know that your guides and your ancestors and angels on the other side do notice. They do pay attention to this. They see how much you guys do for others. And even if you don't get the appreciation from other people, you are getting those points in the spiritual realm, and you're taking on the hardship. Because sometimes when we talk about spiritual work, people think it's all like glamour and sitting around in a circle and holding hands. And of course that can be part of it. But I think the Saturnian part of spiritual work is something a lot of people don't like talking about, or the Saturn aspects of the rules of the universe, the karma aspect is something that isn't so popular nowadays, but it is real. It is a real thing. And we do need people that fight for what's right. And we do need people that say like, this is wrong, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to fight for it. And I think that a lot of times those people are unpopular. Like, they don't get as much credit as like the person who's just happy-go-lucky drifting around. But we need that energy so much. We need the discipline. We need the strength that you guys have. And I really feel you guys are doing such a service for other people, really helping other people, really giving to other people. And honestly, a little bit of a spiritual leader because of that. You guys are someone that people know they can rely on and look up to and trust. And even if sometimes you might actually have people rebel against you because of that, you might be in a little bit of the Hierophant because you're so spiritually powerful. And you might have had people kind of resent you because of that. Like, oh, you're such a rule follower, or like, oh gosh, another set of rules, or another scolding that we're getting from you. And they don't even realize that you're kind of like holding everyone up, everything up because of your behavior. But you don't get to be like, it's kind of like the disciplinarian parent and then the fun parent. And everyone wants to be the fun parent, but it's the disciplinarian parent that really makes the kids grow up into what they are, right? And really makes the kids learn how to be an adult and learn and develop in a healthy way. Because you can't just have kids that never learn to like, not talk with their mouth full, or learn not to like hit other kids, or learn that to share. Those are kind of hard lessons to learn in the moment, but it's important for our development. And it takes that disciplinarian parent who says like, okay, that's now you need to share your toys with this person, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like you guys really step into that really beautifully and really have that energy. And I really love that and respect it so much. And I do feel like a lot of you guys will be very financially successful because of that. You're really good at getting stuff done. Like, I feel like if someone needs something done, they know they can call you and you will make it happen. I just heard call me, beat me if you want to reach me, which I think might be from Kim Possible, but I'm not sure. But maybe you guys have that vibe of kind of like a secret agent. Like they know they can call you, they know they can text you at any moment, like your close friends and loved ones, and you guys will show up and you will be so reliable and you'll get stuff done. And I feel like people call you in like when they need help with battle. And I feel like you guys did something like this in past lifetimes where you helped people who were like the undertrodden or like the underdogs, or you helped people who were like less fortunate, less strong as you. Like you're so strong. And so you have this kind of soft spot in your heart for people who aren't as strong. And you hate to see people like run roughshod over them or take advantage of them. And I think that you have the most beautiful, open, sweet heart because of that. And you're willing to use your strength and kind of like take those blows and be the one who like gets the pushback, as long as you protect others. And I think that's so awesome. And again, I want to point out that sometimes that's not popular, and your guides want you to know that you're doing God's service by doing that, and they're so proud of you. And every time you have to stand up for yourself or call out something that's wrong or be like, no, actually, this is really unacceptable what's going on here, and this needs to change. Yeah, you might get a lot of pushback. You probably will, but it's only because you inspire and push people to change their dysfunction. A lot of people resent you guys because you guys are very functional, actually, and you get your stuff done very effectively. And so you actually bring out resentment and jealousy in others because you kind of shine a light. You're that person that will call it out and say like, hey, this needs to change. And people don't like that. They want to be okay with the status quo. They want to just have everything keep going in the dysfunction mode and not have anyone say something, but you won't do that. And I don't think you realize that you being the one to take the brunt of that, like, and stand up and be the unpopular one who says like, hey, enough. You guys are helping so many people, and we need more people who are willing to be the unpopular one, say the unpopular opinion, go against the crowd, because you know, there's a lot of crowd followers nowadays, and I feel like you guys really have this innate spiritual strength that you probably developed in another lifetime. I could also see you guys being martyrs in a past lifetime or something like that, but you are so spiritually powerful. Let me get some more cards for pile 3. What makes pile 3 special? What makes pile 3 special? We got mountain, cleaning house, okay, Virgo energy, ghost lands, okay, making a choice. I feel like a lot of you guys have had people come against you, people that I think get triggered by how honestly on point you guys are and smart and intelligent you guys are, that you guys like, you honestly, part of it is just that you're a little bit smarter than other people, and people resent that. People resent that. I feel like you are just someone that's really reliable, and you're smart and you figure things out quick. Like you, if someone called you in and asked you to handle a situation, even if you had never heard of that situation before that day, you could probably like do a Google search, read up a little bit, watch a YouTube video about it, and suddenly you would be like a master of the situation and know exactly what to do. Your mind is just very quick moving. You guys are very smart, and you're very like, I could see this being Scorpio energy, because I feel like you're just very intuitive, and you just see through different situations. You see through to the truth. You like, people will try to present an image and you guys see through it. I can't think of the exact word, but maybe it'll come to me. But you're very kind of penetrative in seeing past the images that someone might present to you into what's really going on. So someone might be like, no, all our taxes are fine. And you're going to be like, I want to see the books. And you just know. And I think because of that, again, that makes you unpopular. But I think that, yeah, some of you guys have faced a lot of like nasty behavior. We got mountain and ghostlands. And I do feel like you've faced people that really are not happy about this. It's like the more dysfunctional they are, the more they get triggered by your words. But Spirit wants you to know that you are doing God's work and God's service and standing up for yourself. Some of you guys were scapegoats in childhood or in dysfunctional family systems, and you had to be the one to point it out, and you were the one who was like, break away. And you have an identity you identify with, and you really relate to other scapegoats or other people who are being like kind of stamped down by society, or like outcasts or people who are treated badly, and you have a real sense of injustice. It's funny your first card was justice. I feel like you guys, you are very watchful for like injustice, and when you sense it, you react strongly. I feel like you are those people that would go against the crowd, that wouldn't go along with like popular opinion, like probably back in the day when Britney Spears was going through it. Like, you didn't need the free Britney movement. You probably saw through it and were like, this is BS. She shouldn't be treated like this. A lot of you guys have kind of that soft spot for the underdog, and I actually think you guys are also really good at kind of reading the tea leaves of how different situations are going to go. Like, you don't need to have probably a certain celebrity get canceled before you're already like, I get a weird vibe from them and I think they're a creep. Or on the other direction, this person's being vilified by like the media, but I think they're awesome and I'm going to fight for them, and I still like them. And honestly, you're probably also good at kind of, I would think, something like finding bands or pieces of entertainment or something like that before they blow up, kind of like having a radar for quality content before other people are aware of it. I feel like you guys really don't follow the crowd. I feel like you guys really use your own discernment and your own mind. You might be ahead of the crowd with like fashion trends and that kind of a thing, or the first one to watch like a TV series before it blows up. I just feel like what sets you apart is that you're not looking for like society to tell you what's cool or what is awesome or what is, you know, hip at the moment. You're going to decide that for yourself, and you don't really care what society has to say. You're going to follow your own path. And I think that makes you, it makes you a renegade. I'm hearing Renegade by Taylor Swift. And, so it's like, I think it makes you really set apart from things. And sometimes it might make you feel like you don't really fully fit in, but I think you don't fit in a good way. Let's get some astro dice and figure out the astrological energy for pile 2 and what makes them special. So we got the nodes, we got Pisces, and we got the 9th house, so Sagittarius. So with the nodes, I feel like you guys definitely do have this really strong, powerful destiny. And as I was mentioning past lives, the South node talks about the past life. And I feel like a lot of you guys have had like persecution in past life, possibly in childhood as well. And you know what it's like when like the crowd turns against you for no reason. And so you take very strongly to that. And when you see it happen to someone else, you will like fight for them, and you don't care what happens. You go into like fight, protect mode. And I think that honestly, you do a real service for that. I think you guys have such a radar for when people are being mistreated or when someone's a bad person or kind of an evil person, and you are going to stand up and say something. And I really commend you guys on that. And a lot of this is just your intuition. We've got Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune and relates to the 12th house. So that is very, very psychic. And I think a lot of you guys use your psychic intuition to discern. So someone might introduce you and be like, hey, this is Diana. She's super nice. And you're like, no, she's not. No, she's not. And she might have not even said a word to you. She might have been like, hi, I'm Diana. And you're automatically like, yeah, she's trash and I'm not going to hang out with her. And your friends might be like, oh my God, you're so mean. But I feel like 6 months later, they'll all be like, you're not going to believe it. Diana stole our money and like she did all this. And you're like, yeah, I knew that. This is not a surprise to me. It's a surprise to you, but I told you guys that. Or maybe I didn't tell you it because I knew you'd be weirded out, but I knew that was what's going on. And that's why I didn't hang out with her. So I feel like you guys are very psychic and very perceptive in your way of reading people. And with the 9th house, we have this fire energy, Sagittarius. Also, 9th house is very open to other cultures, to travel, to I feel like you guys are that person that you're not closed-minded. You're very open to different cultures. You would never judge someone based on their culture or their ethnicity or their skin color or anything like that. You are very open to perceiving each person, human being, as a soul, as an energy, and taking them kind of how you feel with your energy, not what they look like or how they present themselves or you know, what they're trying to present themselves or anything like that. Like, I feel like you are genuinely someone who's very non-judgmental, and doesn't subscribe to those kinds of labels that someone might say, like, oh, well, this person is this because they came from this background. You're just, that's not your vibe. You'd be like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, they're an individual soul, and I'm gonna like get to know them individually. I'm not gonna judge them because they came from a certain place or their family was a certain way. I'm going to make my own judgments. And again, I just feel like that, honestly, it's like a somewhat rare quality. Like, I feel like a lot of people just make judgments based on so many other factors and try to follow the crowd. And you guys truly are that rare person that makes your mind up for yourself. Let me spin the astro dice again. What qualities makes pile 3 special? So we got the 6th house, Virgo, Jupiter, and Cancer. So 6th house reminds me of this card, Virgo. And I do think you guys are that Virgo perfectionist energy. I think you can look at a situation and see what needs to be changed, what needs to be improved, what needs to be fixed. And I think, again, that rubs people the wrong way. And they might even act like, well, who are you? Or who do you think you are? Or like, well, who made you the queen? Why do you think? And you're like, well, I don't know. I'm just smart. I mean, Virgo is smart. It's ruled by Mercury. It's highly intelligent. Mercury's exalted in Virgo. So I think that, you know, you guys are smart, period, whether people want to admit it or not. And maybe that might trigger them, and maybe they might be offended that, like, you know, you're smart, but it is what it is. You're smart, and period, point blank. So they can feel any way about it, but that's what's going on. We got Jupiter again, so that also relates to the 9th house Sag, like we just talked about. But also, I do feel like you guys will be very prosperous because of this energy, because you guys are very fastidious and precise with this Virgo energy, and you go into a situation and you really pay attention to the details. I think that's a huge gift you guys have. Like, a lot of people, they'll just be like, well, it's fine. Like, just put it, yeah, I mean, it's good enough. Yeah, just throw it out there. That's so the opposite of you guys. You guys would work on something, perfect it, make sure it's impeccable and perfect and just absolutely done gorgeously. And I think you guys can be kind of self-critical at times, and your guides are telling you not to be self-critical and to trust your judgment and trust that you're a little bit pickier than the average person. So the things you notice and are like, oh, that's kind of, that's not good, like probably no one else would even care about, because you guys do things really amazingly well. And you need to give yourself kind of that window to, like, just put it out there and trust, because you're already doing things so on point regardless. And you can, like, don't let your perfectionism ways, like, it is a good thing that you're a perfectionist, but also, like, understand that people probably aren't going to notice those things as much. So it's okay sometimes, even if it's not 100% perfect, if you've already done a lot with it, then trust that, like, it is good enough, because the things you guys do are like 100 times more perfect than what anyone else would do. And then we have Cancer, and I do feel like you guys are so protective and loving of those around you. You, like I said, I feel like your friends, your family, your loved ones know they can rely on you about literally everything and just come to you whenever they need something. And they really do trust you and look up to you, I think, more than you know. But let's get some more cards. So, Spirit, can you please tell us what makes pile 3 special? What makes pile 3 special? What makes pile 3 special? Oh my God. Okay. One flew off the table. High Lord of gratitude and service, selflessness, humility, conscious action, the winged wise ones, angelic help, miraculous aid, the map makers of destiny, authenticity, inspiration, free will. What makes pile 3 special? Keeper of the scales, fairness and balance. That is so you guys. You guys are all about fairness and doing what's right. And that has such a powerful energy. Like, we need justice. We need courts of law, because sometimes if it's not for, like, the court of law and, like, this Libra justice energy, then the powerful would just run roughshod over everyone else, over, like, the weak or the less empowered, you know? And I think you guys know that. And truly, you're just doing so much of God's work. And the other card that fell off the table was the altar priestess, preparation, prayer, sacred ritual. So again, with that very scorpionic vibe where you guys, and Pisces vibe, where you guys, I think, have a lot of spiritual potency. And I just heard that you guys have really good karma, and that when people mess with you karmically, they have no idea of what is about to happen to them and like the punishment. I feel like you guys have an incredibly strong team on the other side looking out for you. Maybe you've collected them from these past lifetimes where you guys were somewhat persecuted, but I really do feel like you are just divinely protected in this and very much looked after. And I do feel like your guides and your ancestors and stuff will take care of things even when you don't realize that. So some of you guys just need to hear that message. And you need to know, they just really want me to drive this home, how much your guides, your angels, your ancestors love you so much. And they're also so proud of you. They literally, I could cry. They literally just are going on and on to me. And I was wondering why this fell off. And I was like, okay, so should I just ignore it? But then I was like, I think they want me to stop recording and go pick up that card, which like flew across the room. And then I thought it was funny that it's like a card about spirituality. And then now these messages are coming through so strong. So I'm like, okay, this is why they disrupted my reading. They really want you to know how much they love you guys. And some of you guys are going through a really hard time, and it might relate to what we've been talking about. And they want you to know they are so proud. I just heard The Fighter by Keith Urban. Some of you guys are like The Fighter. And if you don't know that song, you should maybe go listen to it, because it's all about, you know, I see how much of a fighter you are. And like, that is beautiful. And I think sometimes when someone's a fighter in our culture, they get vilified, especially women who do that, like kind of get told to like shut up and just be quiet. But I think you guys are standing up for what's right. And any pushback you get, any like hatred or anger or people telling you to just be quiet, you should know that that is BS. And you guys are, your moral compass is incredible and amazing. And if you're standing up to any kind of injustice, then, you know, I think you guys are really doing the Lord's work, is what they're saying. And your guides are so happy with you. They're telling you, you don't even know the kind of people you've defended, the mark you've left on so many people's lives. You guys have left a mark on people's lives just by interacting with them. You guys also have very highly intelligent eyes, and people are very drawn to that. They see the intelligence, the like depth of your eyes. I feel like you have kind of Scorpio eyes, and Scorpios are renowned for their intense gaze and the way they look at you that's just so penetrating, and that just kind of sees through any mask you might try to put up. Scorpios can see through it. So, and Pisces can too, but Pisces will pretend like they don't, and they'll be like chill and like nice. Scorpios will not. Scorpios will be like, I see you down to your core, and don't lie to a Scorpio, because they hate that. They only want the truth. Pisces you can lie to, they don't care, but Scorpios you cannot. And so I feel like a lot of you guys like have something very penetrating about your gaze. You see through people, and there's something about it that really touches people. There's something about you. Look at how many cards here are spiritual. We got the altar priestess, the winged wise one, the high lord of gratitude and service, all spiritual, different spiritual cards on the same thing. So never mistake all the pushback you get. Never think that that means that what you're doing isn't right or isn't your destiny, or maybe you should stop. You guys are serving out your destiny so strongly. You have such a powerful energy. You give so much to others with your fighter spirit. You guys are like a warrior running into battle, and it's beautiful. And I know you guys are tired sometimes, but know that you will be rewarded tenfold because of this. I keep hearing Valhalla in my mind, which maybe some of you guys have a connection to some Norse deities, or you were a Viking or connected to those cultures in like Scandinavia in your past lifetimes, because I don't know why, but they're telling me really strongly to say that. So you might have a connection to certain Norse deities, I guess, like Odin. I'm not as familiar with that pantheon, but I feel like you guys do have maybe past lives or something with the Viking culture, because it's coming through really, really strongly. And I know that that culture, you know, it's about being brave. It's about being a warrior. And I think that you guys you guys embody that really well. And they believed back then that like if you died in battle, that you would go to Valhalla, which was like the ultimate heaven and the ultimate reward. And so that's why the Vikings were so feared as fighters, because they would charge into battle and they literally wanted to die because they wanted to get that reward, because it was such a beautiful place. And so know that you guys will be rewarded. Obviously, not saying you should physically endanger yourself or anything like that. But I think that knowing that you will be divinely protected, the warriors that fight for what's good will be protected. And Spirit smiles on those people that are willing to take on the fight, because it is hard. So don't worry about that. And I guess some of you guys just needed to know that. So anyway, with all that being said, let me get some more cards for you guys. What makes pile 3 special? What makes pile 3 special? Wow, you guys are such, I feel like you guys are energetic, just fighters, and it's making me almost tear up. Like, I just have so much respect for you guys. I feel like some of you guys are really tired and exhausted. You've been working so hard, and I think it's incredible. And I do think you guys are going to be rewarded, but I'm just kind of in awe of you guys. Like, wow. So we got gratitude, worry, and courage. You guys have so much courage, and I think your guides and people you don't even know about, people that might not even have the discernment or intelligence to be grateful, they will be grateful for you on the other side. Like their higher self is grateful for you. One day they will realize like, wow, this person really fought for me. This person did so much for me. So if you're not getting that kind of feedback yet, trust me, you will. And people will see that you were right all along. And I'm hearing that line from Taylor Swift, where she says, light me up, go ahead and light me up. I did something bad. And that song is all about, like, she's kind of talking or singing about like the witch hunts, but it's like a metaphor for, you know, like current cultural witch hunts that kind of she faced. And she was saying, you know, I did something bad, but it was so much fun because I fought and I stood up for what I believe, and I love that I did that. And finally, after she got thrown under the bus, culturally speaking, and everyone was so mad at her, you know, years later, she was totally vindicated, and everyone was like, oh, we're really sorry to Taylor Swift, and we were totally wrong. And I feel like you guys would be those people that would see through it at the time. And so know that like things take time, and like life is long, and there's plenty of time for God and Spirit to vindicate you. And whenever someone's coming against you, that means you're going to get paid back double, triple. So don't worry if you guys have been worrying about this situation. I don't know why they're telling me to say all this, but hopefully it applies. Don't be afraid. Don't be worrying. And pride came out reversed. I feel like a lot of you guys don't have a lot of pride, and that's the thing, is you're willing to like take an L in the moment for what you know is right, and I think that's really beautiful. So let me get some final cards for pile 3. What else? Can you tell us what makes them special? Wow, gong, rooster, and broom. I think you guys come into certain situations and we got clean it up, and we got the broom, and I think you kind of clean it up. Like you point out like this needs to be changed, this needs to be moved, this needs to be done here. And I think again, a lot of people are uncomfortable with that because they take that personally, and they want you to just be like, it's amazing, I love it. But instead you'll be like, yeah, there's a problem here and that needs to be changed. And I think you guys are a truth teller, and I think the truth teller is never popular. And what's coming to my mind with the rooster is like the rooster is the first one to alert everyone to like the coming of dawn. And it's kind of like a phrase we have in America or in English is the canary in the coal mine, aka I think they would have canaries in coal mines. I'm just kind of guessing, I don't really know, but back in the day to alert people in case it became toxic levels of like, I don't know, carbon dioxide or whatever the fumes were in the mines, because they did have a lot of those fumes. So they would, I guess, bring a canary in there, and the canary would sense it much earlier because animals are good sensors of those things. And then they would start, you know, chirping or whatever, and they would know, oh, we got to get out. And I feel like you guys do that, but you don't get the credit. People don't know, like, why is this canary going off, or why is this rooster crowing? And so they get mad at you that you're alerting them to something. That you're like, why is this person being so loud? But you're the first one to sound the gong, to alert things to what is happening that's bad. And I want to commend you on your bravery, your wisdom, your power. You guys are so powerful, and you're very effective communicators. You're very special in how you communicate. And if you get the urge to communicate certain things, or to write a book, or to, like, I feel like you are such gifted writers in this pile. You guys are such gifted communicators. You are great speakers. Some of you guys could make a really in-depth YouTube channel where you like talk about like really deep situations, you know, like where someone talks about like historical events and they go into like intense detail and they have like a million slides to show. Like, you guys have that level of intelligence and charisma and communication skills, and it's really amazing, and you need to know that. And if you have had people try to bring you down or talk negatively about you, you need to know that that's all BS, and that you guys are so special, so amazing, and you're really doing God's work, and your guides are so proud and delighted with you guys. So you guys are so special in this pile, just incredible. Like, wow, I feel like you guys are just freedom fighters. I'm in awe of you guys in pile 3. So thank you for letting me tune into your energy. I really hope it resonated, guys. Let me know if it did in the comments. Leave a comment below. I love hearing from you guys. And make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so you find out as soon as I post next. And if you liked this reading, check out my Patreon. I just posted, what feminine archetype do you embody? So it's a really great one if you want to tune into your goddess energy. A lot of you guys already have a lot of goddess energy, but if you want more clarity, this is a great one. And actually there was a pile that had like some of these exact cards. So I'm like, is this that same pile energy? Probably. So definitely check that out if you guys would be interested in that and finding out more details about this kind of vibe you have and how it relates to your divine femininity. But there's a ton of other readings on there as well. So check out my Patreon, link in description, if you guys want to join us over there. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be back very soon for another reading. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys then. Bye. Hey, pile 4, so if you guys picked this blue ice cream, this is going to be your reading. So it's served in a clear plastic bowl with a matching spoon. Then there's some classic vanilla soft serve or custard at the bottom. It looks really soft. Then it's topped with little scoops of some gray ice cream, which is probably Earl Grey or some kind of tea flavored. Then there's a drizzle of blue on top and a blueberry decorating it. So I think it's probably blueberry syrup. And there's a little chocolate garnish and a little shard of a waffle cone, as well as a sprig of mint or some kind of green. It looks absolutely delicious. Well, let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got the 6 of Cups, 4 of Swords, Temperance, the Strength card, 4 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 8 of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So you guys have such a beautiful, gentle, kind energy. You can see just this huge lineup of the Cups cards, and they're really positive Cups cards. And I feel like a lot of you guys have a very gentle, watery energy. I'm seeing kind of Cancer vibes. Like, you guys are just sweethearts, honestly. I feel like you add so much beauty and joy to the people around you. You're lighthearted, kind of almost childlike or whimsical attitude to things, I feel brings a lot of joy to others and helps them see life through a less serious lens. Like, they might find themselves taking life really seriously and being in kind of like work mode, or coming home from their job and being really stressed. And I feel like the kind of whimsy and beautiful view you have of the world, where you're the type of person that would stop and smell the roses, or be like, look, a daisy, or point out, like, you know, a horse in the distance or something, where maybe someone's on a boring road trip and they're just kind of counting the miles, but you would point out like a really cool roadside or sign, or suggest stopping at like a little fruit stand by the side of the road. And this kind of openness and joyful quality you have, I feel like you bring it out so much in others. And I think you don't even realize how much of a gift this is to the people around you and how much people enjoy tuning into your energy, which almost feels like taking a drink of water after you've been in the desert for a long time. Like it feels very restful and restorative. And I feel like, yeah, you also have a strong psychic ability and you're kind of very in step and in tune with the other side and with the astral plane. Some of you guys are very connected, I feel, to like fairies, or you have a kind of fairy energy about you where you just seem like you might cause a little bit of mischief, or you like to laugh, you might like to play pranks and stuff like that. Um, and I feel like sometimes people might even get mad at you about that, or they might be like, oh my God, not again. But honestly, I feel like they love that. And you remind people to laugh, to take some joy, to take some pleasure in things. And you guys have this quality where you're very open to life. You're very open. If someone suggested like, okay, let's pack up our bags and leave overnight, you'd be like, okay, I'm down. Let's go to like this cool location. Let's get on this plane and try food in another country. Like you would be down for it. You would be open. You're very, I feel like when you meet someone, you're very open to them. You're very receptive. You're not a kind of closed off, boring, staid type of energy. You honestly treat everyone with a lot of respect and dignity and kindness, and you really go out of your way to help people. I feel like you're that kind of person that would give money to a homeless person, or would stop to talk to someone who seems like they're having a rough day, or probably the kind of person that like talks to all the checkout people. You know, if you're at the grocery store, you're not just gonna silently stand there while they ring you up and be like, how much money is it? You would be that person that is like chatting with them and being like, I like your shirt, and how's your day going? Like you have such a kind, sweet, beautiful heart to you guys, and you are highly intuitive. Some people might sometimes think you're a little spacey because of this. They might think that like, oh, they're not that smart, or they're not very serious because, they're just kind of a little bit of a space cadet. But actually, you guys are highly intelligent. I think you just prefer to spend time on the astral plane, and who can blame you with all the crazy stuff happening in the world nowadays? The astral plane can be a lot happier of a place to be. So some of you guys might be very connected to kind of even fantasy realms, like you would get really into a book, or you would get really into a song or a movie and just kind of live in that place for like a while, like maybe a couple weeks or a few days, or maybe in the really long-term cases, like a few months. Like maybe you would read a book and just become obsessed with it, and just everywhere you go, you start thinking of that thing. I do feel like you guys have a really active imagination, and you would have a talent for doing any kind of creative field, any kind of creative gift. I'm seeing animation, so maybe some of you guys are into animation or drawing, but I feel like you guys would be really good at that. And also painting, songwriting for some of you guys, and writing for sure as well. You're great at creating these fantasy worlds and truly imagining them like so in depth. Like I feel like someone else might try to imagine a fantasy realm and they have like a couple things covered. They have a couple ideas of things they want to talk about, but you guys would probably pay attention to everything from like the kind of forks they use, like the kind of silverware they have, or cups and saucers and that kind of a thing. It kind of reminds me of when Demi Lovato was asked what her favorite dish was, and she said that she liked a cup, a mug, because it could hold hot items. And obviously the person was saying favorite dish, like what kind of food, like what's your favorite dish in terms of food, but she thought they were saying mug. And I don't know why that came to mind, but I just feel like you would be that kind of person who also probably has like a favorite mug, or who answers kind of unusual answers to questions. And just, you have such a charming, whimsical way of looking at this world. You might be very particular about decorating your apartment in a certain way and making it feel very cozy, making it feel like a sanctuary, making it really a home. You guys might sleep a lot with the Four of Swords. I'm getting really strong Cancer vibes from you guys, but there's so much like patience and kindness in you guys. You're very gentle, sweet souls. But don't let people think that that means that you're going to be weak, because you are very strong, very intelligent, I think you guys are protective of yourselves on a certain level, and you have to be to keep yourself in this energy. but you're very kind and just so giving. You would give the shirt off your back to anyone. And I feel like these kind of fantasy dream worlds you guys create, your guides want you to know that there's a lot of spiritual power in that, and that a lot of those are your gifts. You have this amazing ability to create worlds in your mind, and that's not something you should just dismiss or think everyone can do, because they can't. You guys are so imaginative, and I think a lot of people would love to enter your worlds. I think a lot of people find this very charming. You might have found yourselves having to like slip out of certain like relationships where people became too attached to you, or people who just kind of fell in love with you, because I feel like there's something so charming and that just inspires kind of devotion from people in your personality type. Honestly, I feel like you guys might giggle or have a very beautiful laugh. And people that you're just being kind, you're just being nice, and you're talking to them, but they might imagine that like you're in love with them because you're also attractive. But really what's coming through as your gift and how you're blessed is this amazing, pure heart and pure soul. I feel like you guys have very activated upper chakras. So from the heart chakra on up, and definitely the third eye and the crown chakra is very activated for you guys. So let me get some more cards for pile 4. What are pile 4's gifts? How are they gifted? We got magic prayer, magical map shifter, balancing act, and dry desert. So I feel like you guys, it's almost like, obviously everyone can talk to spirit and everyone can ask for manifestations and stuff, but I feel like it's kind of like you guys have a direct line, because I feel like your guides and your angels and spirit is just so pleased with you and so like fond of you. They just get such a kick out of you, and they see you as such a pure soul. You might have really good karma or something, but I just feel like you would have your prayers answered like a little bit faster than other people. You might have felt very divinely protected, like things happened where it could have gone really bad, but you felt saved and protected, or something happened at the last minute to protect you, or you always kind of emerge unscathed from difficult situations. And I do feel like that's because you guys are kind of celestial favorites. You're kind of God's favorite, so to speak, because you are so kind and so lovely and so open-hearted and beautiful and giving, that your guides and your angels and everyone on the other side just really goes out of their way to help you, because you have incredible karma, you're incredibly loving, and so that boomerangs back to you and you end up getting blessed whenever you want. And you have a lot of spiritual powers. Honestly, you guys are very blessed in the way of being able to kind of, I think, change things with your destiny, or ask for things and make them happen, and manifest things really quickly, kind of doing magical work. You guys are really good at that. You guys might have really spiritually potent abilities. You might have been like a high priestess type figure in a past life, or a spiritual leader in a past life. Because it feels like you helped others and would kind of nurse them back to health in many ways, and just your presence around people makes them feel kind of rested and restored. And I feel like you guys have very vivid dreams as well. I feel like when you're sleeping, you guys go off into other realms and get predictive, incredible dreams. And you are that person also who is very optimistic. And I feel like you inspire the people around you when they're going through a hard time. You inspire them to kind of relax. It's not that bad. You guys might have been through some really hard times, but it feels like you never let it take away that beautiful inner kindness, the little kind of, I'm seeing like a little flower inside. You never let that be damaged or harmed. You always kept your purity, your love of others. You never let it make you see the world through like a dark lens. You always try to see the good side in people, the good side of things. And I think it's an incredible blessing that you have. I think you guys, I think your guides and your team is just, like I said, they're so pleased about you guys. You might have some Libra energy as well with balancing act, and I am getting that vibe. And I do feel like a lot of people wanted to commit to you, wanted to marry you. I feel like you don't realize how seductive this quality is. the openness. I'm seeing you guys have some very wide or big eyes, and like you make a wide-eyed expression, and it's just very attractive to a lot of people. You seem like a genuinely good person, and you seem like you would make an amazingly attractive and good spouse and partner, and they know you would make such a great parent as well. And you'd almost in some ways be like one of the kids, but you'd also be very protective of them. But you do have that quality where you would be like playing with your children and imagining with them and dreaming with them. You wouldn't just be in like this adult energy. So let me get some astro dice for pile 4. So we got Mars, we got the 8th house, and we got Aries. So wow, that's some very powerful energy. We got 2 Aries energies, Mars, and actually Scorpio's ancient ruler is Mars, so we have a lot of potent Mars energy. And what's coming up for me with that is that you guys are just these adventurers. Like, you're always up for something new. You're always up for going somewhere new. I do feel like you guys have kind of an outdoorsy side, or you just love to explore nature. I feel like you guys are very connected to nature, and you're that type of person that's always down to like go on a trip or like play a game. Like, I feel like you would end up playing soccer with people or playing t-ball or being like competitive in a fun way and bringing the fun out of that. Like, you haven't lost touch with your fun side. You're not in that energy where like I have to be so disciplined and there's no time for anything. I feel like you guys really understand what's more important in life, and that's really connection with others and enjoying life and getting the most out of it. And with that Mars and 8th house energy, you guys definitely have that protective side as well. So even though you are such a sweetheart, people should not take your kindness for weakness. They should know that you're very spiritually protected and very spiritually powerful yourself, and you're not going to accept kind of bad behavior. But Aries is that kind of young energy in the zodiac, the youngest in the zodiac. And I do feel like you have that kind of childlike enthusiasm with so many things you get into. You're always open-minded. You're always allowing yourself to explore, to have fun. And I really think you bring that out in others. You might attract a lot of people who are kind of boring or in like a bored energy, and they just are falling in love with you because you bring that out in them. You make them kind of laugh and dance, and I'm hearing dancing in the moonlight. So there's something about you guys that you might go to a lot of concerts and stuff like that. I just feel like you're always up for fun. You're always doing something new and fresh and trying different things and enjoying life. And I think people really love that about you. So let me get some more dice for pile 4. Okay, that one fell on the floor. But we got Cancer and we got Saturn, and I got the other dice that rolled onto the floor, and it is the 11th house, so Aquarius. So as I mentioned before, Cancer, a lot of you guys are protective of your loved ones. A lot of you guys are very giving, very sweet. And the thing about Cancer is it does have that shell. It is the crab, and it has a little hard shell around the soft inner center, which is definitely the vibe I get for you guys. I think you have a very active inner life. Like, you'll talk to people, you are friendly, you are outgoing, but you have this very separate side of you that I think is very imaginative and whimsical, and people might even be surprised by what your like place looks like. Like, you might have some kind of random collection, like a collection of dolls or a collection of figurines or memorabilia or some kind of like, or comics or something like that, that people would never guess. And people might think that, you know, it's a little like shocking, because I feel like you do come off as very fun and playful, but it's like you have this whole inner world that I think you keep separate, and you don't need to tell everyone, you don't need to let everyone know. So I do think there's an element of surprise. You guys also don't mind kind of sticking out of the crowd. We got the 11th house, which is ruled by Aquarius, or related to Aquarius and Uranus. So there's something about you that again is unexpected, and something where you don't mind being a little different, looking a little different. You're probably ahead of the crowd when it comes to like trends, or when it comes to different like a book before it became a big movie and got a huge movie deal. You guys might already be onto that book and already have read it and already be a big fan, or you know, a movie series that's randomly blows up and becomes like a cult classic. You already were like a huge fan before that happened. I just feel like you guys get really into certain things. And again, this vivid imagination, I just think it's a major thing your guides want you to mention. And with Saturn, I feel like you guys are good at bearing down and doing the work when you have to. And we also got the King of Pentacles, which kind of relates to that. I feel like you are good at managing your kind of earthly duties. As much as you like to spend time on the astral plane and you love it up there, you're also good at like getting stuff done, making sure that things are taken care of in that sense. And I feel like you find a really good way to balance that and to have this kind of fun, lighthearted side to you, but also allowing yourself to make sure like your bills are paid and making sure that like you show up to your job on time and being serious about certain situations and really looking at them carefully and kind of logically. So you really balance and have that duality and that two sides of you where you can be very lighthearted, goofy, easygoing, like someone who laughs a lot, but also someone who gets stuff done and is really good at their job. So let me get some more cards for pile 4. Spirit, can you tell us more about what makes pile 4 special? We got commitment. There's so many people that have had crushes on you. I'm telling you, you guys. Wishing well, sad embrace, talisman, and sacred pool. So a lot of cards about having a psychic ability and a manifestation ability. That is something that is really coming through really strong. You guys are excellent manifestors. You're great at getting what you want out of life. I feel like if you don't have a dream journal or a manifestation journal, you guys in this pile should definitely create one, because I'm feeling like some of you guys, like you get things without even trying that hard or without like directly going after it. You'll get it kind of surreptitiously. You'll kind of scheme on it and be like, let me come around the back and let me get it this way and I'm going to go through this. And people might really be shocked. They might be like, oh my God, I can't believe this person, like I didn't even know they wanted this. And that kind of is like that Scorpio energy we got earlier, where you're good at like having a goal and you understand that sometimes you come off as just very like easygoing and chill. So you don't mind that. You're like, yeah, you can perceive me as that, but behind the scenes, I am going for the goal. I do have something in mind. I am going to push for that. And you're great at putting it out there, giving it to the universe and allowing the universe to bring it to you really easily. Also, again, like I mentioned, so many people have crushes on you or would like to be with you guys romantically. And I feel like you're just kind of always having to fight off a little bit of those offers, fight off or like let people down easy. There is something really kind of quirky about you guys that I think people find unexpectedly attractive. Like they're kind of surprised, like, I didn't know I was into this, but I actually find it really whimsical and joyful and really sweet. But some of you guys have been through some hardship, and we did have Saturn, we did have sad embrace. You might have people who just didn't really understand you, didn't really get you, didn't understand why you're special and didn't understand this energy. Maybe they thought you weren't taking things seriously or that you needed to like toughen up. And I feel like you guys have just chosen to embrace your softer side. And you're like, I'm not going to let the world make me into a tough, hard person. I am going to be tough and I'll go after it when I have to and I can fight back. But at the end of the day, I am going to be in touch with this kinder, softer side that I have. And I am not going to let anyone take that away from me. And I think a lot of you guys, I feel like you're either close to your family or you're very close to deceased ancestors on the other side, because they're bringing that up. I'm seeing someone's grandmother. I'm seeing really close ancestors on the other side, someone's uncle. And I feel like they really rally around you. And it's almost like some of them are saying you're doing something for the family, like something for the family name or something like that. But they are really proud of that. Some of you guys have had to fight because your family didn't come from super prominent circumstances, or there was something you had to overcome with your family. Like some kind of family like chain you had to break a little bit, family karmic pattern thing. But I feel like you guys are breaking it, and you're doing it by staying really kind. You're not like maybe you had unkind family members or family members who are really harsh. And instead of you going in that direction, you've gone in the opposite direction and just gone out of your way to be a sweetheart and to be an angel. And I think you really inspire the people around you with the way you move through the world so gently and so kindly and kind of effortlessly. Like, I feel like you guys are also very graceful in the way you move. And I just keep seeing your laugh. Your laugh is so beautiful, so attractive, and so gorgeous. And I think you really are someone who's quite spiritual naturally. Like, you probably never had someone have to explain to you about spirit guides or about how to pray or about all those things. I feel like it just came to you intuitively because you are just the kind of person who's very in touch with spirit, who probably prays without even realizing it, talks to your guides. You're surrounded by them. You might get messages from animals or even feel connected to like inanimate objects because you understand that they kind of have a soul in their own way. You guys just feel like I'm seeing, like, I guess, is it Belle? Or yeah, Belle talking to all the little items at the Beast mansion, or maybe Cinderella talking to the mice and the birds. But I feel like you have a little bit of that quality of like this kind, sweet, you might have your head in a book, always like Belle as well. But there's something kind of Disney princessy about you guys that you make everything really, really magical. But anyway, let's get more cards. So Spirit, can you tell us what makes pile 4 special? Gaia's Garden, abundance and fruition. The Dream Walker, dreams, the collective good, illusions, the Spirit Whisperer. So many spiritual cards coming out for you guys. It's crazy. The Dragon's Duel, inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. So I feel like now I'm kind of getting your energy that I feel like some of you guys have been through a lot and you had to go through stuff in childhood and stuff like that. And so you actually do know how to defend yourself, is what they're telling me, is that even though you have this sweet, loving energy, it's not that you don't know how to defend yourself or you just see the world through rose-colored glasses. You know when sometimes you have to stand up for things. And I feel like you are willing to do that when the moment comes. But overwhelmingly, you choose to be in the energy of kindness and of love and of resonating with a high vibration. You choose to ignore low vibrational energy and not to let it into your space and not to entertain envy or hatred or anger. And yes, you will defend yourself if you have to, but for the most part, you kind of let it roll off your back and choose to stay very positive, very hopeful, very open. And because of that, a lot of you guys are going to manifest a ton of abundance and financial success. And I do feel like you might even have people who just want to give you money because you guys come off so sweet and so loving, that you might have people that are just like, I want to give you a company, or I want to marry you and give you half my money. And you're like, really? Like, I don't even know you that well. But I feel like people just kind of fall in love with you and they see your sweet kind of angel energy and they just kind of can't resist. They just end up, yeah, falling head over heels and just being so drawn to you. And you might have to let people down really easy actually a few times. You might have to you might be really well practiced at like that breakup talk and just being like, it's not you, it's me. You're perfect, but I'm the problem, and trying to be very diplomatic about that. And I feel like you are good at that and you would go out of your way to be kind, but you might have to constantly be avoiding these entanglements from people that just sense this inner core of light that you guys have. You have this beautiful angelic energy around you and a lot of people on the other side surrounding you. So let me get some cards from this deck. What makes pile 4 special? What makes pile 4 special? Love. Love, patience, and acceptance. Yes, you guys are very patient. You're very accepting of others. You're not the type to judge others. People might have judged you for some reason, and you might be that person that's why now you would never, ever, ever judge someone else. Maybe some of you guys are struggling with loneliness or feeling a little misunderstood right now. But again, they're telling me it's not for want of having other people around you. Like, it's not because you don't have options. You have a lot of options, but sometimes I feel like you disappear into the kind of dream realm or into the creative realm a little bit. And they are wanting you to know that these are blessings for you and that you guys have gifts in those realms, but also it's good to work on your own relationships in this realm too, and to have one foot in the astral realm, but one foot rooted in the physical realm. That's what we see on the Magician card. And so for some of you guys, there is a message where it's okay to kind of venture back out if you guys have been hurt in the past or you feel like the world can be a really cruel place. They want to see you laughing again. They want to see your glittering, beautiful, infectious energy that makes people so joyful and happy. And if you guys have had to deal with some trauma and stuff, then understand that all of those things will be worked through in time, but the solution isn't necessarily to like isolate yourself away from things. You have this beautiful, gorgeous heart, and you should never allow someone to prevent you from sharing that with the world because of their evil actions. Yes, they might have tried to hurt you, but I feel like you need to know that you were protected by spirit, and something like it could have been worse. I just heard you just got out in the nick of time, something like that for some of you guys. So know that you were protected and watched over. If that has bothered you, if that has caused you pain, you should know that you were looked after. And even though you might be feeling a lot of this pain and you might be really upset about everything that happened, you are going to be paid back triple. And also that you were protected in the moment, and you will continue to be divinely protected. Spirit sees your beautiful, lovely heart, and they want to see you laughing again. They want to see you running in the fields and smelling the grass. Something about being outside is very potent for you guys. Some of you guys might have been in hermit mode, just like staying in your apartment or something, and you need to like go out and smell the fresh air. But your guides are not happy about anyone who's caused you harm. They know what a sweet little soul you are, and they are going to take revenge and have it be vengeance. It's interesting. Like I was like, dang, why did we get Mars and Scorpio? And I don't know if that's their energy. Now I'm like, is it their guides' energy? Because I do feel like your guides are coming through to be like, hey, by the way, we're handling this. And they've seen the pain that's been caused to you, and they are going to make it up to you guys. But a lot of you guys are sweet little angels, and I feel like you tried really hard to be positive, and they see the efforts you've gone to. You have a beautiful energy that's infectious and so loving to those around you. So sweet, so gorgeous. And if you've been around people who have not appreciated it, you should just know that you are going to find your right tribe that you are going to resonate with, and people that really appreciate you for who you are. But they don't want you to let yourself become hard because of the way some of these people have acted or treated you. They want you to stay the sweet little angel you are. And if you temporarily have to kind of disappear into books or like movies and stuff like that, or songs, or just spending alone time, that's okay. And maybe all those things will come to fruition one day. Maybe, you are like a huge reader and you just spend all your time reading, and then one day you get an idea for a book and it turns into this huge blessing, and you end up writing like a bestseller, and you're like, oh, that's why I was obsessed with books. I mean, it's funny now I do tarot, because for years I would just study metaphysical stuff, just in my free time for no real reason. I was just interested in it. And now it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting that's how the path turned out. So when you have a random interest, oftentimes that's a gift. That's a clue to you that something is going to come out of it, and that your gift lies in there, or some kind of part of your path lies in there. So understand that like it's all a part of the process. It's all okay. Everything's happening for your greatest and highest good. And you guys are a beautiful, loving, kind energy, and you will be paid back, like I said, double. And you will be vindicated. But I hope you guys can start smiling again soon, because that's what you deserve. You deserve all the happiness in the world. My precious little pile fours, you guys are so loving, sweet, gorgeous energy, and I just want you guys to be happy, because that's your kind of natural state. That's your highest vibration of yourself, because I think you guys are naturally happy-go-lucky, kind, laughing type energies, and anything you can do to get back to that is going to be a beautiful thing. So Anyway, thank you for letting me tune into your energy, pile 4. I really hope it resonated. Please let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know your thoughts, and also make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Make sure, yeah, your notifications are on so you find out as soon as I post. And if you guys want to see more videos from me, you can also check out my Patreon. I just posted one all about what divine feminine archetype you represent, you fit into. So it's a really good one if you want to tap into your goddess energy. And there's a ton of other readings over there, all over the spectrum, from romantic to serious ones to fun ones, all kinds of subjects. So check it out, link in my description for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys very soon. So take care, guys. Bye.